Alaska is happy that the lower 48 is finally taking notice of Alaska.
Kind of neat, though. Americans getting a look at some of the Alaskan lifestyle, though, with some of the shows that are on. The Ice Trucker show and the, what is that commercial fishing show, Todd?
Deadliest Catch.
Deadliest Catch. Right. And some survival show in Alaska, too.
I would think though some Alaskans wouldn't want that because it seems like there's sort of people who are up here are happy to be up here, not have all of us in the lower 48 coming up here so much. I mean, come up here and throw your dollars around as tourists, but go home.
I don't know. There's enough space for everybody, though. Yeah, I think that Alaska's misunderstood, and a lot of the people are misunderstood, and perhaps that craving that so many Alaskans have for independence, that's misunderstood also, kind of exploited in some sense, but it's just so huge and diverse that there's plenty for everybody. Yeah.
Misunderstood in what way, though?
Well, that, I don't know, I think that there is a perception, perhaps, that Alaskans are perhaps not wanting to be a part of more of what's going on in their country also. And I got a little sense of that in terms of the questions that were asked of me along the trail. You know, remember the questions like, well, what do you read? How do you stay in touch with what's going on in the country? And I remember that question sure took me aback. And just some of those questions that were asked that made me realize, wow, people think that Alaska is so far away and that people here perhaps are out of touch. And yet, I look at Alaska as being situated to allow us to be leaders in a lot of the policy that needs to, I think, progress the nation, energy policy especially, and you know, geographically where we're located, we're the air crossroads of the world. There's so many things that Alaska has to offer, and hopefully we can help people understand where Alaska is, what we have to contribute, and we will kind of be better utilized even as a state. This very young state that we are a great attribute to the rest of the nation.
Well, I guess I sort of thought that people looked at it more with awe, in the sense that you have all this beauty, and that the rest of us would sort of like to think, you know, we'd like to live up here. Instead, we're sort of trapped in some of these horrible urban environments because we can't pull ourselves away. And you come up here and you see the natural resources, and you can't, even more in awe, not what you read so much. I mean, in fact, it looks like I'd like to sit on your front yard and read. Actually, when you look at that,
we do a lot of reading.
I bet you do. I mean,
we do. Yeah, that's a good perspective there too. I do think that Alaska, I believe that this whole run for VP has been good for our state in that it has opened people's eyes to the resources that we have, and I think that there will be more acknowledgement of Alaska's position in our nation as we seek to develop more safely, responsibly, and start contributing more to the U.S. Remember when we became a state and we had struck deals with the federal government saying, let us into the union, 50 years ago, let us into the union and we'll be as self-sufficient as possible. But neither the state nor the feds have really held up their own ends of the bargain here when we became a state. And our statehood compact was crafted in our state constitution saying, okay, we will derive benefit, maximum benefit for the people of Alaska as we develop our God-given resources up here, and then we won't be reliant on the federal government. And the Fed said, yep, come on in, and you must be self-sufficient, and you do that by developing your resources. Well, in a lot of respects, the federal government hasn't allowed us to develop to our potential, because less than half of 1% of all of Alaska's lands are even in the private sector's hands. The government controls, native corporations and the government controls all of our lands.
Next, Governor Palin says she is dealing with a major national security issue in Alaska. What problem has the governor so concerned tonight? She tells you next.